Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the MARPA podcast. Today, we are in Orlando for the MRO America show, and joined today with me is...
Hi, I'm Jacob Martinez. I work with Jet Parts Engineering doing regional part sales.
Awesome. All right, so Jacob, could you tell me a little bit about what your current role at Jet Parts is, and maybe explain how you got into aviation?
Yeah, absolutely. So I recently got on with Jet Parts at the beginning of the year. Previously, though, I spent about six years at Southwest Airlines, primarily managing contracts and working in PMA approvals. And that was like my first stint into aviation. I actually got on as an intern in my last semester in college doing inventory and did about a few months there. And then after my last semester, I went on and got on as a warranties contractor, and working there for about 6 to 9 months, I got tapped on the shoulder by one of my former colleagues, Travis Day. I think you might know him.
Oh yeah.
They're looking to get somebody on their team, and it was strategic sourcing, and it's kind of right up my alley. I think I strive with working with others and just kind of building relationships, and so I got to do that. There was a lot of that involved, and I got to do contracts, just learn contracts in the beginning, and then got into PMA, and that was kind of it for me. That's where I fell in love with aviation, was learning the contracts and then just learning all about PMA and like alternative solutions to some of the OEM issues we were having. So I did that for about 6 years and made a lot of good friends, made a lot of good relationships, and going to conferences like MARPA helped out a lot, and just learning and growing in aviation. And turn of the year, opportunity came up with Jet Parts Engineering, and I knew the team, I knew the people I'd be working for and with, and for me, it was a really great opportunity, and to work and learn and grow with some of the most rock star salespeople in the industry, I'll say, especially some of my boss Andrew's really good, very knowledgeable guy, one of the best salesmen I've ever met. So it's just
That's awesome.
Good to kind of be able to grow under that tree with Jet Parts. So right now I'm currently on site with Delta Airlines. Get to be embedded with
Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta. It was a whole big move. It was a big year for me. Got married early in the beginning of the year, and
Congratulations.
Thank you. Kid on the way, you know. Yeah.
So exciting.
I have a son on the way, so it's exciting. Needless to say, a lot happened. Just ripped the Band-Aid off and just did it all.
Early in 2026,
yeah.
just jumped right into
but
everything.
But it's all good stuff. Just being with Delta, like my time at Southwest, it was all 737, and here there's just so much to learn with Delta. Very diverse fleet. They have just so many moving parts, well-oiled machine, and for me, it's just knowledge. Like I just get to learn, and grow my experiences, and just kind of help move development along with Delta, using the experiences I had at Southwest. So yeah, that part's just exciting all around.
Amazing. Could you tell me a little bit more about the overlap between working at Southwest and now being in engineering at Jet Parts servicing Delta?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just having been in their shoes, having done that work just for Southwest Airlines, like I get the pain points they have. I get some of the cost savings constraints they get from leadership. Like those numbers compound every year. I mean, has to be constant growth, even on the airline side for development, because you come to find out right away, like the only way to grow and hit your numbers is to dev. Even on the airline side, they get it, and that's where having strong strategic partnerships come into play, especially with companies like Delta and Jet Parts. So knowing the pressures they're under, and a lot of airlines run pretty lean. So even my supply chain contact, he's doing multiple things like I was doing at Southwest. It wasn't just you're fully dedicated to PMA. You're doing PMA and contracts, and then whatever little ad hoc requests you got going on. So me having done and lived that life, I know what they need, and how to best support them in terms of just. Even for me, it's just like if I can help keep us all very organized and have structured meetings, just make sure we get to the point and be there when you need me. I don't need to have all the answers, but just good customer service, communication, right? Like with any good long-term relationship, it's all communication based. So that's what I've kind of thrived on and enjoyed building and growing. So,
and you seem like a real team player, so I'm sure that adds to your skills.
I do everything that happens, it's something that I've learned, and it's a community-based thing. Like, it's not all just one person. Right. Even from just getting technical packages over to Delta, I mean, it's not just me. There's internal salespeople. There's a lot of people in the back end making it all happen that ensure that I'm set up for success. So all the more you can communicate and just work with everybody, it kind of helps it all move along pretty smoothly. So yeah.
And speaking of community, how do you see that community functioning at MARPA?
I personally have seen it grow quite a bit. I know airlines do like to talk to each other and we've spread ideas. Like, always had the air carrier to air carrier little meetings and panels. So those were always good, just to kind of say, hey, these are the issues we're seeing, or maybe there's certain OEM distributors or OEM parts that we're not getting, and maybe there's certain similarities for the issues that we have, and then we kind of collaborate, like, this is what we kind of do and what do y'all do, or you know, there's a lot of that going on, a lot of good community, a lot of good talking, and then just honestly everyone's pretty transparent in terms of, you know, their needs. We share where we can in good faith, and then we ensure that, you know, we just talked about it. We talk about how we can better help each other, and I've seen a lot of that at MARPA, and I hope to continue to see it grow. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do you plan on going to MARPA EMEA?
I don't think I'm quite there yet. I was trying to squeeze it in because I was like, technically my customer is kind of going, but I don't think that panned out this time. But I'll be at MARPA in Seattle.
Awesome.
Yeah, so maybe one day I'll get to go to overseas MARPA. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, take a pause.
Pause, perfect. Let me. Sweating some.
I'm sure the windows don't help. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay.
And the giant spotlight on your head.
My big old forehead. Stare at it. Shiny.
Mine gets so bad. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Okay, next question. Let's think. For someone who doesn't have a lot of experience in PMA, could you explain what PMA is and maybe give us some of your first experiences with it? What inspired you about it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think like the best way to just, if I'm talking to someone who's not in aviation, it's like you think of PMA and you got your OEM like brand name part, right? And PMA is the same form fit function as the brand name OEM, but you're not being essentially the brand name part. So you just think of any grocery store product you go and buy. I mean, you always have you have your Tide, or then you go to Target and they have their own Target brand. I mean, it's the same thing, comparable, the same if not better sometimes. So you're essentially, same thing with like car parts. I mean, not everyone goes and buys the OEM part. You buy an aftermarket part that's gonna perform as well, but not pay the same price as the OEM.
Right.
So you look at it like that. It's just like you're buying the same part, just not OEM, doesn't have the OEM branding on it, and a lot of that comes with certain sticker shock sometimes. So yeah, you look at it that way. And then for me, just learning about PMA there's a few different types, right? You got primarily at Jet Parts, it's all test and comp. So there's rigorous testing that goes to that, and FAA certifications. And a lot of airlines tend to go for that depending on what they're looking for, but test and comp is usually preferable. And then for me, it's just like reading up on FAA website or looking at something called the DRS. The DRS website. Yeah, the DRS website, and just kind of attending conferences and just learning about the aftermarket world. It's big, it's growing.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it's not going away, and that's what I kind of fell in love with it, because when you start on contracts and you look at some of the pricing you're getting, and it's like, man, even though these parts are on contract, they're still pretty expensive, and you're not always getting the parts you want. And PMA and aftermarket solutions offer a way out for airlines.
Right.
So, I mean, you don't want to be single sourced and bottlenecked. I mean, we saw it a lot during COVID at Southwest, and that's where the push to get away from single source for parts came through, and that's where PMA started to really grow.
And I'm sure that was very relevant during COVID as well.
Yes. And I think just just educating people on what PMA really is and like how beneficial it is to the airlines and to the industry as a whole, because it keeps predatory pricing at a minimum, it gives you options, and it keeps your planes in the air, because that's next to cost savings is part availability. Yeah, reliability and part availability. If you can't get your part, I mean, what's it matter if it's half the cost of the OEM if you can't get it? So a lot of that, there's different factors that go into it. But yeah, so hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, it did. And you actually answered what my next question was going to be, which was, you know, having had experience on the airline side, how did PMA really push the envelope and help Southwest accomplish its goals?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think tremendously, really. When you just think of like big fleet campaigns that we had at Southwest, we wouldn't have saved nearly the amount of money we did if it wasn't for the utilization of PMA, reviewing and like being open to PMA. We essentially, you're selling it twice, because you're selling it to the airline, and then for us doing the business case internally, we got to sell that part as well to our internal stakeholders, because PMA is pretty niche. I mean, even in aviation, I mean, unless you're like in technical operations and dealing with aircraft parts, you might not know what PMA is. So just selling it internally too as well, getting people comfortable to what PMA is. But I mean, the past 3 to 4 years at Southwest, I mean, PMA sales, like our approvals went up, our cost savings went up, and it drove us more to want to dev more, but it was tremendous savings. And I know that's going to continue to be the path there. And I see it at Delta as well. Like, they have internal cost saving initiatives, and a lot of it is through dev. And I mean, PMA is a big part of it as well. So for us, it's exciting, and it just makes it more of a collaborative effort, how we can best support each other.
Right. Which is going back to MARPA. How do you feel like MARPA has contributed in your guys' ability to meet those needs, to collaborate?
Yeah, I think it's done a pretty good job. Like for me personally, like just like there's panels I spoke on, just talking about, I think it was so important to kind of hear what other airlines were doing, like how their alternate solutions teams were built, and how they you know, brief overview of their processes and their expectations, and just
all the education.
Yeah, there's so much education there, and a lot of insight that was had, and just to be able to connect personally with your internal stakeholders, and then maybe your counterparts at other airlines, and even for companies like Jet Parts to kind of get a little more familiar with each airline's processes and expectations. And I think that growth is so important. And I know, I'm not sure for every airline, but Southwest, we had supply chain people there and engineers there. So ideally, I'd think for it to grow even more, it's like, got to get the key players there to show up for the airlines.
People from different departments, so everyone can help contribute. Yeah,
like engineers and the supply chain people, like it's important for all them to go. So they just get an understanding for what PMA is and how important it is for the industry, and you know,
see that there are options.
Yeah, absolutely, and kind of get us to that same place where we're trying to ensure we maximize our savings. So yeah, so I think it's been really great, and I'm excited to keep going and learning. So yeah,
I'm excited to see where Jet Parts takes you.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely going to be tuning in.
Yeah, we'll keep up for sure. Yeah, it's exciting.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a good ride, been a good journey so far.
So exciting year so far.
Yeah, very exciting. Oh, yeah. More to come.
Yeah, well, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. And this has been an episode on the MARPA podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you.